To understand the impact of mass incarceration in America, we must begin with policing, and we must be honest about its purpose. Policing in the United States did not develop as a neutral system of public safety. Its earliest forms include slave patrols organized to control Black movement, recover enslaved people, and suppress revolt. This history matters because systems carry memory. After the Civil War, those mechanisms evolved. Black codes criminalized unemployment, loitering, and mobility. They allowed newly freed Black people to be arrested, fined, and leased back into forced labor. This was not justice. It was continuity. As laws changed, the logic remained. By the mid to late 20th century, new policies expanded police presence in Black communities, while economic investment was withdrawn. In Philadelphia, as manufacturing jobs disappeared, policing intensified. By the 1970s and 1980s, mandatory minimum sentencing, the war on drugs, and aggressive enforcement strategies dramatically increased arrest and incarceration, disproportionately impacting Black residents. The result is mass incarceration. Mass incarceration refers to the large-scale imprisonment of people as a policy response, not to individual harm, but to social and economic conditions. The United States incarcerates more people than any other country in the world, and within that system, Black Americans are incarcerated at rates far exceeding their share of the population. In Philadelphia, this reality reshaped entire neighborhoods. Mass incarceration did not only remove individuals, it removed parents from households, workers from the labor force, stability from families. Children grew up with parents behind bars. Household income disappeared. Housing security collapsed. This was community destabilization by design. When people returned home, the punishment did not end. Criminal records restricted access to housing. Employment discrimination followed release. Civic participation was limited or denied. Freedom existed in name, but not in practice. The system did not make communities safer. It made them more vulnerable. Out of this system, culture formed. Not culture as expression. Culture is adaptation. Because incarceration made separation routine, Black communities learned how to live with absence as a condition of life. Families learned how to function with missing members. Children learned early how to navigate loss without closure. Care networks expanded to absorb what the state removed. This is the cultural knowledge mass incarceration produced. How to manage disruption, how to hold people through separation, and how to receive them back without erasing their humanity. This culture does not excuse harm. It responds to it. It insists that people are more than their sentences, that return is part of survival, that punishment does not erase belonging. It is within this reality that institutions like the Urban League of Greater Philadelphia became essential. Founded in 1917, the Urban League emerged to confront structural barriers in employment, housing, and economic opportunity, barriers that mass incarceration only deepened. For more than a century, the Urban League has worked to support returning citizens, advocate for fair access to work and housing, and address the long-term consequences of over-policing and incarceration. This work recognizes a fundamental truth. A system that removes millions of people from their communities without providing pathways to restoration is not a justice system. It is a destabilizing force. Mass incarceration took time, took income, took parents, took futures. It fractured communities and then blamed them for the fracture. Understanding this history is not about assigning guilt. It is about naming reality. Because what was done cannot be repaired until it is fully understood.